Good day, and welcome to another exciting, fun filled episode of My Random Thoughts. So, it's story time today, everyone. I decided to do something a little bit different because, when inspiration calls, you kind of just got to go for it. So, I've been thinking about books that have been important to me in my life that have fundamentally kind of changed how I look at the world and my life and how I interact with the world and society and people in general, the human condition and the human experience. And it's interesting how, as we go through this life, we get kind of like pigeonholed into these kind of like parameters and okay, now I know that life is like this, and that's how life is, and that's how it's going to be, you know. But then we come across these very inspirational pieces of art and writing or cinema or music or poems or whatever, and it shatters the paradigm. It's like the wall of our prison becomes translucent for a moment and we can see another way, something beyond the boundaries of what we're used to. So I was thinking about the many, many books that I've seen and learned from. And I guess today I wanted to kind of just go over and highlight one of them, a book that has absolutely fundamentally changed my entire life and how I look at this world and my place in it. It's created a lot of soul searching and a lot of, I don't know, that conflict where you got to rub up against these new ideas, and as that little bit of truth wiggles its way through into your mind and into your heart, into your soul, you kind of have to have that moment of truth, whether or not you're going to accept what is true or continue living within a prison of your own lies, a prison of your own making. So, for me to go over this book and do a small reading, a little sample, I got to put on the old glasses, so sorry. I much prefer, this is who I am, but I can't see anything, so here we go. So, without further ado, I'd like to share with you one of my favorite books that I've ever read in my entire life, and I consider it to be profoundly life-changing. So, be careful with this one, everyone, because let me tell you something. It can awaken something within you that once that awakening happens, there is no going back. So anyway, I'd like to talk about The Rainbow Fish. This book is absolutely fantastic. So it's a harrowing tale of our main character, the rainbow fish, and all the stuff that this fish gets up to. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's just do a little bit of a reading, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on how each part kind of helped me grow, both spiritually, psychologically, philosophically. But let's jump into it. Here we go. All right, page number 1. All right, the rainbow fish was the most beautiful fish in the sea, but he never played with the other fish. I'm too beautiful, he thought. How many times in my life when I was younger, with some natural ability and a flair for the theatrics, did I feel like in many ways, I shined. Many, many, many ways, which I'm very grateful for now and I can appreciate fully. So sorry. But when I was a kid, I was alone. I spent a lot of my time alone as a kid because in a lot of ways, I don't know. I guess I just, they say knowledge is power, but power corrupts. And, I guess there were some times I guess I thought that I'm better than others. And what that led to was a lot of isolation. And let me tell you something. It's not fun being alone, even if you shine oh so brightly. Let's move on to the next page, shall we? Once, a little blue fish asked for one of his shining scales, but the rainbow fish just laughed. Never, he said. After that, the other fish swam away from him. The rainbow fish was all alone. With me being an only child and an only grandchild, never once in my life did I ever have to share anything. You know, that the thing, it might be annoying having a little brother or a little sister or older brother, older sister, whatever. But the silver lining to that black cloud is that it gives you an opportunity to realize that, it ain't all about you. You're not the only one in the situation. There's others besides you that have needs as well. And it gives you this opportunity to learn this concept of sharing. Sharing is caring, which one of my fundamental pieces of life philosophy that has helped me in many ways is understanding the concept of to give is to receive. Now, we'll get into that a little bit further in the story. But anyway, yeah, for whatever reason, only child, only grandchild. So there was never any initial within the foundation of who I am. There was never any push at all to share ever. So what that does is that creates a life that's very selfish. And as we see with our friend here, the rainbow fish, he also is learning this lesson that if you don't want to share with others, if you want to make it all about you, then it's going to be all about you. Because the only way it can really, truly ever be completely about you is when it's you alone with yourself. Sorry, asthma. I'm trying. Anyway. All right, here we go. He went to the starfish for help. And by the way, the starfish is pretty cool dude. But let's see what the starfish has to say. He went to the starfish for help. Why doesn't anyone like me, he asked. And boy, it doesn't feel good to not be liked. It really doesn't. Whether justified or unjustified, it's not a fun feeling. I've been hated many times in my life. A lot of times justifiably so. But then there's the times where, for no reason, like just trying to be nice. It was like, it doesn't feel good. It's a terrible feeling. So let's see where we're at here. So what does Mr. Starfish say to the rainbow fish? The rainbow fish's closest confidant, Mr. Starfish. Let's see what's going on here. He says, "Go ask the octopus," said the starfish. "She is very wise." And oh, is she wise. I had my own little go see the octopus moment. At 33, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a profound, life-changing moment. When you have that conflict within yourself and it's bubbling up to the surface, when it's bubbling up to the surface in a way where you can't deny it anymore, okay? And it's just like, oops, here we go, it's coming to the surface. And you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I feel terrible. There's this conflict within me, the war within, as I talk about. And you have to take a moment of humility to realize that you don't have all the answers. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to go seek out something that's more than myself because I'm struggling and I can't do this on my own. And let me tell you something. I come across a lot of people, myself included, that feel like asking for help is a form of weakness. It's not a form of weakness. It takes strength to admit that you're not all powerful, that you don't have all the answers. And there's nothing wrong with that because no one is perfect here. Anyway, let's see where we're going here with the octopus. The octopus said, "Give away your shining scales. Although you won't be as beautiful, you will have friends." "I can't do that," cried the rainbow fish. This is that initial moment where you're like, the one thing that can possibly help me? No, never. Like, it's that moment of denial. One of the greatest battles in the war within is when you have to have that moment that, where you look in the mirror and you're like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna change? Or are we gonna keep going down the same path that's been causing all these problems? Let's see what he does. Oh, this is beautiful. It's so beautiful I can almost cry. Because the moment that this happened in my life, that's when it all changed. When this life went from being a complete nightmare to being Beautiful. Actually, I'm getting a little choked up even thinking about it, so let's see if we can keep it together. Anyway, suddenly, the little blue fish was back. Please, he said, could I have just one scale? Well, the rainbow fish thought, maybe just one tiny scale. The little blue fish was so pleased. It made the rainbow fish feel so happy. This is what I talk about when I had my little go to the octopus moment. Seek out something that's greater than myself for guidance. And then I got the ultimate truth of this life, which is the answer is love. Okay? Because in this situation right here, we understand, and we're coming to find right here. The little blue fish was so pleased that it made the rainbow fish feel happy, feel so happy. Well, there you go. From the bottom of my heart and every ounce of my soul, I've come to understand that to give is to receive. Their pain is my pain. My joy is their joy. Their joy is my joy. When you're happy for others, you're also happy yourself. It's so counterintuitive. In this life, it's like, me, I won, it's all about me. But the true joy and the true hidden, absolute joy, heavenly joy, beautiful joy, is found in being able to be there for others, to give to others. To give is to receive. To give to another and to experience seeing a smile on their face when they were crying or sad or down, and seeing that you were able to introduce a little bit of light into their life. There's such a joy and beauty in that. And I wish, if I have one regret, is that I wish I would have went to go see the octopus sooner. It was only me that was standing in my own way. So let's see. Let's go to the next page, shall we? Oh my goodness gracious, look at all these other fish. It doesn't look like the rainbow fish is alone anymore, does it? Final page. Soon all the fish came, and the rainbow fish gave away his scales. One by one, finally he had only one shining scale left. But now, as he swam off to play with his friends, he was the happiest fish in the sea. This is some serious stuff. This is some serious literature. This is powerful. I'll just put it right there, I guess. This book, I was aware of it when I was a kid, but I always kind of scoffed at it, like this idea of like giving to other people. We'll put it over here. This idea of giving to others, like why would I give to anyone else? This life never gave me anything. It gave me horror and chaos and a lot of pain and a lot of frustration. And there's a lot of attempt to survive. Like the idea of giving anything, it's like that would take something from me. I would be less than. But you got to understand, when you give away a part of yourself to another, genuinely, it's not that you don't become less than. You ascend. You grow. It's a moment of growth. It's a moment of humility. And it's a moment where you're able to embody selfless love for all. And let me tell you something. Nothing brings transcendence more than when you embody selfless love for all. When you come to that moment where you do it of your own free will and volition, when you come to understand this beautiful, beautiful fact of life, to give is to receive. So yeah, here on the verge of 40, this book finally really just came together and it really just in a very less is more, stripped down, back to basics way. It encapsulates my entire life philosophy, which is the answer is love. Well, that was fun and different and interesting. So, anyway, it's this interesting thing, You wouldn't think a little children's book. I don't have time for that. I'm an adult. Look at me. I'm such a sophisticated scholar in life. But the wisdom that's in there, when you dare to dream, when you dare to go a little bit outside the boundary of what's expected, it's amazing. It's amazing the amount of wisdom and guidance I got from this kid's book. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was different. I may do other things like that. I don't know. I just follow my heart. That's the beauty of creation. You just follow your heart and you will never go wrong. So anyway, if you enjoy my content, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. Or if this is on YouTube, I have a link to a Patreon down in the description. So anyway, that was a hoot. Thanks for joining me. So anyway, good day to you. And as always, the answer is love.